And welcome back to Across the Board with E and the Colonel here on hawkradio.org and acrosstheboardradio.com. So we bring you the best bands, the best athletes, the best actors in the world, art, authors, a little bit of everything. But bands are important. The members of the band. The equipment is just as important sometimes.
Sometimes more important.
Yeah, and you're talking about, guitars, and amps, everything, drums, the whole nine. And we like to support a lot of the companies that are here local to us. In Maryland, there are some big companies that are local. One of those being like PRS, Paul Reed Smith Guitars, is in Stevensville, Maryland, nearby. Another company that if you haven't heard of yet, you need to know them. If you play guitar, bass, anything like that, InTune Guitar Picks. And these guys are local to us. They're in Virginia, but, on the peninsula where we're located, everybody's really close to us. And the founder of the company, Bert Licato, is with us right now. Bert, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. So, again, listeners, if you don't know InTune Guitar Picks, let me tell you who uses them, okay? Basically, these guys do
everyone?
custom picks, and a lot of friends of the show, but some guy named Ozzy Osbourne, some band called Aerosmith, don't know him, Alice Cooper, I don't know, maybe you've heard of some of these guys, but good friends of the show like Less Than Jake, As I Lay Dying, just so many incredible bands. The list could go on and on. Bert, the company's been around for, 12 years now, right?
Yep, we're rolling around to the 12th year.
Yeah, congratulations on that. But let's talk a little bit about how you came from, a small town in the Eastern Shore of Virginia, and now you have every major client in the world using your picks.
Well, I guess the beauty of it is it doesn't really matter where you're located these days, thanks to the internet, and of course word of mouth and so on. But you had kind of a lot of hard work, a little bit of luck, and just hooking up with a couple of the right guys at the right time when I decided I wanted to do this, and it just kind of started to explode. We worked real hard to. When I first started, it was just me, so it was all about quality and taking care of the bands, and that's what they're looking for as well. So it didn't take long for bands to talk among themselves and just start getting the word out, and it just slowly started to expand to the point that it's now more than a full-time job. So yeah, it's been a long, hard road, but a good one. No complaints.
And the deal of this is you don't just sell guitar picks, you sell custom printed guitar picks. I mean, bands can have their logo on there, they can have text on there with information. You sell different size picks, different colored picks with metal flakes, with different colored inks, the whole deal. So talk a little bit about what makes InTune so special.
Well, yeah, you can go to a music store, you can get a pick with a company name on it, and it's going to serve the purpose. But these days, the bands like to have something custom. It's a good advertising tool, something they need, it's something they can use, and then it's something that they can use to advertise a new song, new website, new project, as well as giving something to the fans. Growing up, if I left a show and, had a guitar pick in my hand, I was happy.
Oh, yeah.
I walked away with something that came off the stage. And it's really no different today. It's really gotten even bigger and bigger. People collect picks, and it's just turned into a kind of a very crazy item that all the bands have to have. There's very, very few bands out there that don't have a pick with something on it other than a company,
Right.
So, yeah, and it gives them a chance to get creative. I mean, we print all kinds of stuff. It's, it can get pretty crazy. It can get vulgar. It's one extreme to the next.
Right.
So it keeps things interesting as well.
And again, the biggest bands in the world, we mentioned Ozzy Osbourne, Aerosmith, REO Speedwagon. I mean, just huge, huge bands to, again, a lot of good friends of our show that have, guests that we've had on, people we've hung out with, Yellow Card, In This Moment, you name it, really. I mean, Bert, you've got a little bit of everybody here. So talk a bit about the process. We have a lot of, we have people that listen Strapping Young Lad, another great band.
Definitely.
Bands that listen, or, fans, that listen all over the world right now. And a lot of them are musicians as well because, they want to hear the music and the musicians we have on the show. So a lot of them are guitar players. How do they get, their own custom picks, and how does the whole process work?
Well, that's one of the things that we've tried to do is make it very easy. With the internet and everything today, it's as simple as going to our website, finding what you like, and just putting an order in.
Right.
You know, we make it very easy.
InTuneGP.com, by the way. InTuneGP.com.
Yep. And that, you know, there on our website, you know, you'll get to see who we work with, and then most importantly, all of our products and what we offer, all the different combinations, and we've tried to make it really easy. You know, we print for people. You know, you don't have to be famous to work with us.
Right.
We take care of everyone, and we treat everyone equally. So that's one of our big things, is just always, you know, we don't say, oh, you're not important because we have a bigger client we're dealing with right now. It's basically first come, first serve, so everyone gets treated equally, you know,
that's
whether you're playing in the garage or in front of 50,000 people every night. And so we decided that when, as we started growing, you know, to keep that feel. We don't want you to have to go to a music store and place some order for custom picks to, you know, from a company that you don't have any contact with or anything.
Right.
So you come to us, and you will deal with us personally, and we will take care of you. And that's kind of how we do it. Kind of our little motto is want to feel like a rock star and be treated like one. And that's what we kind of live by, you know, taking care of everyone. And it doesn't matter if you're famous, to have a pick with your name on it or your band name, even if you're, you know, just playing in the garage, you know, every weekend for your friends. It's, to toss a pick out with your name on it still gives you that little touch of fame.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Absolutely
Plus, I would think it's a good way to get chicks as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need some guitar picks with your name on them.
Working on it.
Your cell phone number even. Bert, how did you decide that this was something you needed to do? You needed to help create these picks for the better of the industry. What brought that genesis in your mind?
Kind of just fell into it. I've been a firefighter for years, and when I started the business, that's what I was doing. I was a paid firefighter at a NASA facility, actually between our location and yours, up at Wallops.
Yep.
And I had a lot of time on my hands, and I played guitar, and I'd actually ordered some picks for myself, just for something different, you know, just like everybody else. It's like, hey, it'd be cool to have my own design, my name, whatever, on a pick.
Yeah, it's sick.
And, you know, it took like 8 months to get them. When I finally got them, they were wrong. It was just, you know, from start to finish, it was just a fiasco. And, you know, as I'm sitting there with all this extra time, because I'm working shift work, you know, I'm only working 10 to 12 days a month.
Yeah.
I just kind of, the wheels started turning, and I'm like, you know, I'm an okay guitar player. I don't need to be out there playing in front of a lot of people. So, like, this might be my way of getting into the music business and having fun with it.
For sure.
Right.
And so I just started doing a little research, figured out to a point how the process worked, and it was a long road. It's not easy. It's a hard industry to get into, just the music industry in general. Nobody's going to cough up any secrets, so it's all about, you know, working hard and doing a lot of investigating. And slowly but surely, things started coming together. And put up a, you know, a real small, little cheesy site, and kind of, you know, it was just a little side thing. And all of a sudden, we got a band or two. You know, I met a friend that lives up in New Jersey who knew a couple bands and had access to a couple shows, and it just slowly started to get a little bit bigger. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the band Chimera.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Mark Hunter's a friend of the show. Had him on
definitely. Those guys are great, and they're very good friends of mine.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're going through a lot right now. Things are changing, ending, and all, which is sad, but all the guys are still great. They still have other projects. They have, you know, they're just looking at something different in the future.
Yeah, Mark's our boy for sure.
But the long and short of it is that I got hooked up with those guys, and they had never really thought about picks, didn't really understand why I'd be offering them a deal. Mm-hmm. I, at the time, had actually never heard of them.
Okay.
And I always use them as an example because I am personally so close to them, and they grew and grew, and so did we. So from the beginning, we have kind of grown together. I've watched them grow and go on bigger tours and do better albums, and they've watched us do the same thing, you know, adding new clients and new products. And so they're a great example of just one of the first bands. And the funny thing was it turned out that Matt actually was friends with Kerry King.
Okay.
And one night I'm on my way to Walmart, and my phone rings. It's like, hey, this is Kerry King. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay.
Right.
And, you know, you try not to hang, and I'm not going to hang up quite yet, but also it's just not, you know. And come to find out it was,
famous guitarist from Slayer.
Exactly, yep. And it started a relationship, and it was just, I've helped them out in the past, they've helped me out, and that's really the way the whole industry works.
That's crazy.
Everybody has to like each other, work with each other, and help each other out to make it work.
And you guys have some cool, you have picks with extra grip, you have picks that glow in the dark, picks with, different camouflage patterns, and you even have bracelets made of picks, like the pick bands. In different colors and stuff. That's a cool idea. You can get a necklace and the whole nine, right?
Yeah, that's a new product that we just launched. And I always have to say, unfortunately, we didn't invent this product, but we are the sole distributor, and it fits our product line very, very well. So we teamed up with the inventor of this product and started pushing it, and it's a very unique product. There's a lot of the silicone bands out there that are being made for some really good causes,
right.
And these aren't necessarily made for a good cause, but it gives you a chance to express yourself. And, so we offer the bracelets and the necklace. And the cool thing is they're silicone, they're durable, they're easy to clean, but the pick comes in and out.
Oh, nice.
So you can change it. You go to a show and catch a pick that you really like, and you can put it in your bracelet, put it in your necklace.
That's cool. Now, talking about doing things for a good cause, that's another reason we wanted to have you on, because you're a business that does great things as well. You support a lot of charities, non-for-profits, that kind of thing. Talk a little bit about some of those and the work that you do.
Yeah, we do. We certainly try to do what we can. And in like today's world, you can't do it all. You can't help everybody. But
right.
We certainly do what we can to help support. And we work with several chapters of the Susan G. Komen, supporting them with picks and things that they use, as advertising tools and items that they can sell at their shows and such. And another company who actually is no longer connected with Susan G. Komen but decided to branch on their own out of Florida is Rock Pink. And it's the same type of deal. It's all about supporting breast cancer. And they do a lot in Florida with shows and artists. And we supply them with picks. We take care of them and sponsor them with picks, and the picks have actually become more popular than some of the other things they were selling and giving away. So now they've got people out there collecting every pick that we do, whether it's for a different event, a different, festival, whatever it may be, or if they just do picks. They've started doing picks now just because people want them so much. It's a great fundraising tool.
Right.
And we do local as well. We support our local food bank. We have a yearly thing here, Music for the Hungry, that we get involved in and support. And, of course, picks is what we support with. They've become such a great item. We do a lot with just doing a lot of custom picks for them to use advertising, selling, raffling, giving away, custom picks to certain winners. This year we were fortunate. We talked to a few of our clients, such as Cyndi Lauper, Lady Antebellum, Zach Brown, Twisted Sister, and they all donated items. And I hopefully I probably left someone out, but we had some great clients that all joined together and sent us a bunch of autographed items that we were able to raffle off at the event.
Good.
And we do what we can to get involved, support local community stuff, and stuff, wherever we can.
And I'm telling you, to be able to hear that a business is able to give back like that, when Ian and I had a business of our own, one of the greatest things was being able to give back to the American Cancer Society. And
that was what we considered a success with the business.
Absolutely, and I can feel you there where you want to give back to the community. And Bert, I have to ask, what the strangest thing you've ever seen a guitar pick made from?
Pesos.
I'd assume you've seen enough guitar picks now along your days that you would be able to answer me with a really good answer here.
Well, I don't know that the answer will be great because there's so many weird things. I've seen people make picks out of so many different things. They're on a budget. They can't afford to go out and buy picks, so they're making them out of credit cards.
Credit cards?
Which, in the end, is probably helping them anyway so that their budget's staying low in the future.
That's a good point.
But, there's different odd woods. I've done a lot of stuff personally just trying out stuff, looking for that perfect sound or that unique sound or doing some custom inlay work, with even cow bone, You see a lot of stuff out there out of horn and stuff. Tried cowbone, exotic woods.
Wow.
So it's I can't say that I've got like just the craziest answer, but
cowbone's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was just something, somebody handed me a piece of cowbone and said, hey, you ought to make a pick out of this, so I did. And end result was it was a gorgeous pick. Did custom inlay work, so you have a bone pick with nice abalone inlays, and it looked great, but then I didn't want to use it.
Right.
So and now it's just I made a couple of them, and they're very nice-looking picks that I can say, hey, check this out. It looks really nice. But I don't like using it. It sounds pretty good, but you don't want to tear it up.
Yeah,
so.
Or don't want to lose it or something like that. That's that's an art, going into that as a work of art for sure.
Definitely.
Do you think that a lot of amateur players kind of tend to underestimate how important a good guitar pick is for their sound as well?
I think they do. I think even some of the biggest guys, sometimes you ask when we're initiating, a connection there and a relationship, you're like, well, what do you use? And you'd be surprised how often I get a comment of whatever I find, whatever somebody gives me, whatever I happen to have in my guitar case.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And they just don't care. And then you have others that can tell if you laid too much ink on there because it changed the tone just a touch.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very broad spectrum, but it does make a difference from the material to how the edging's done on the pick to how thick it is. Right. I can tell if I personally use an 88 millimeter out of our Grip X line.
Okay.
And if I were to grab a 1 millimeter, before I even feel the difference, I will hear the difference.
Wow.
And that's only one gauge up. It's it's from 0.88 millimeter to 1.0, and it makes a difference in your tone.
Yeah, very well could.
Bert, if you could, it can be, let's say it's one of your clients. I'll limit you to your clients. But you don't have to pick a favorite client. I'm just saying, if you could right now, if I said you had to pick a band to play guitar with, okay, it could just be an additional guitarist, rhythm, whatever. What are some of the top bands that you would pick to play with?
That's another hard question. I've got a wide range of taste in music.
Okay.
And we're in the dead of winter, so right now it's all metal for me.
Yeah.
Summertime, I'll do a little bit of some of the newer style country, but I'm a big Buffett fan.
Okay. Wow.
So if you asked me that in the middle of July, I'd be like, I want to go on stage with Jimmy Buffett and just enjoy that big live party.
Absolutely. That would be insane.
It would. It would be, it would just be awesome. And when it comes to, this time of year, it's all about metal right now. One of my big listening things is A Day to Remember.
Yes.
Good friends of the show as well. Yeah.
They're coming to town next week. I'll be out with the guys and checking out the show. Can't wait.
Yep.
They're fresh on my mind, so I'll say them.
Great band.
I'm fortunate enough to be on stage with a lot of bands. Of course, I'm not, hitting the chords with them, but I'm up there and it's still kind of a rush.
Yeah.
You get used to it and you don't take it for granted, but you get a little bit of a feel for what they're seeing when you're standing right up there next to them and looking over, 20, 30,000 people.
Yeah, what an incredible feeling that must be. I haven't been up on stage with any of this band. That's the next thing we'll work on here, I'll tell you. But, yeah, incredible bands. And, again, what you've built, being out of this area and everything, but just what you've built is an incredible company and, giving back to the community and the entire world with some of those foundations as well is a big thing. So, we're big fans. And, again, anybody listening, if you want to check out these picks, they're super affordable. It's not like these are $1,000. I'm telling you, they're super affordable. And they come in the gross and everything, so you get a lot of picks at once. InTuneGP.com. Again, InTuneGP.com. You can check them out on Facebook as well. And if you want to email them, it's info@InTuneGP.com out of Onancock, Virginia. Bert, again, we really appreciate the time, man. And, we're excited. What's in the future for InTune?
We've got all kinds of stuff in the works. We are actually working on a full color process right now. We do single color. That's what we've been known for. That's what we do best, and it's old school. And we're working on a full color process that we should be launching very soon, which is going to allow people to do faces or just, you can go from 2-color image to an entire photo.
Wow.
So we're working on some creative things like that. Wheels are always turning around here, so Probably have some new colors coming out shortly, maybe a new shape. So we're always looking at things that, we listen to our customers. If we get enough requests for a certain material or a certain shape or something a little different, if we feel like it's going to help out the musicians out there, then we look at it and we do what we can to start making it.
And that's why you're a successful company.
That's right.
Definitely. And, you guys mentioned how affordable it is, and just to kind of throw my 2 cents worth in there, yes, you have to buy 144 of them, but when you look at the per-piece price, it's still cheaper than actually going to the music store and buying a generic pick.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
For sure. And again, you want a lot of them if you're getting your logo on them or your information. You can throw them out to people. You lose them. You don't worry about it. You get
they're functional business cards.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it is not expensive at all. Go get them. I'm telling you, it's way worth. Before Bert comes to his senses and charges more for these things, go do it now. I'm telling you, for sure.
And it's funny because with the large quantities, I can't even count the amount of people. They call and they like, I really don't need 144 of these. Can you please do smaller numbers? And due to our process and such, we can't.
Right.
But the funny thing is once you kind of explain to them, and if they go through with the order, we've actually had a bunch of customers who actually were trying to get smaller numbers. They place an order for the minimum, 144,
right,
and within 2 weeks they're ordering more.
Exactly.
Because they realize, well, I gave 100 of them away to my friends and family because I thought they were so cool when I lost a handful, when I wore out a handful.
Yep.
And they go quick.
Yeah. Very true.
Absolutely. Well, again, check them out, InTuneGP.com. Big fans of the work you do and really excited. And I think Colonel and I are going to get on that and try to get some custom picks as well for the show. So pretty cool stuff. And, Bert, we appreciate it. We'll be back in a few minutes here on Across the Board with Ian the Colonel on HawkRadio.org.
And AcrossTheBoardRadio.com.